Hey, morning, ladies and gentlemen. 5:45 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, September 5th. It is GMO Tuesday. GMO Tuesday. Leaves falling all around. You know what that means? I got Zep in the step this morning. Zep in the step. It's time I was on my way. That's what we're talking about. Got to be much obliged for such a pleasant stay. Led Zeppelin bringing us in over the hills and far away. Great song, 1972. I had the privilege being on stage with them again in 1977. The privilege of being on stage with them. I got to see their last American show. I'm blessed. Kind of helped working for Bill Graham Presents. It's GMO Tuesday. GMO Tuesday. Yes, it is. We got the Sumatra mandolin in the background. It's, like I said, 5:45 a.m. As you can tell, it's not light outside no more. And we had a full moon last night. Holy Toledo. September 4th, a full moon, 28 days. October 2nd, 28 days. I think we get a full moon for Halloweeny, ladies and gentlemen. Get the twitchy witchies out. Get the twitchy witchies out. But that next moon coming up in October, see if that moon isn't just big and huge. It might be the harvest moon. And we'll have to get Neil out and see if she'll go dancing in the harvest moon, huh? Hey. One person I know who's going to be out there in that harvest moon, the harvest moon, she got that non-GMO feed for you up there at Foothill Feed and Mercantile on Geiger Grade in Reno, Nevada, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, Foothill Feed and Mercantile for all your non-GMO and organic animal feed needs. You know, you don't want them goats growing funny things on them. You don't want a third eye with the pig there. You don't got the apple in his mouth. Can't have that. I think it's a rough morning, ladies and gentlemen. A rough morning. 775-852-0999. Foothill Feed and Mercantile. Shannon will get you squared away. She got it up there. She has it all. Hey, I got a question of the week, GMO question of the week. Jerry from Twitter, and to all the new followers this week, I think I picked up like 30 or 40 that have joined the Twitter campaign, and we'll get to that, the Twitter campaign. It's picking up steam, and that's how it works, ladies and gentlemen. That's what's so wonderful about this country. That's what's so wonderful about being an American in America. And we'll get to the Twitter campaign in a bit. But Jerry asked this question. Is there anything about GM plants? We were talking because he followed me, and I said, hey, Jerry, please join my campaign asking the president, Mrs. President, EPA guy, FDA, USDA, please get the poison out of our food. We don't want poison in our food, do we? Do you want poison in your food? I want you to ask right now. Ask your kid. Ask your children. Hey, do you want poison in your food? And I want you to think about this. If you put poison in the food, you go to jail. Monsanto gets a Nobel Peace Prize. How's the hell's that work? I don't know. I think they buy that is what they do. I really don't think putting poison in the food qualifies for a Nobel Peace Prize. You got to buy those, I guess. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe one day somebody will really explain the Nobel Peace Prize to me, because I don't understand how somebody putting poison in food and chemically poisons people for the last 100+ years gets a Peace Prize. Go figure. I don't know. Jerry asked this question because we were talking about, well, what foods are bad? What food should I avoid? Anything with soy and corn. Let's start with that right off the top. Anything with soy and corn, 98% of that is GMO, glyphosate ready, Roundup ready, yeah. Sugar is another one. Almost all our sugar now. The difference between, beet sugar and pure cane sugar is unbelievable. Is there anything about GM plants that poses a threat to human health? And what he has said, I probably should have said the whole statement, but prior to that, glyphosate aside, is there? Well, a very tough dichotomy there. And I'll tell you, it's kind of like the chicken egg question. They genetically engineer the plant to withstand the poison. Now, is there anything with the plant inherently bad for human beings before they put the poison on it? We don't know because they don't do that. We have no clue. They don't do that. We don't eat the corn before Bt toxin is in it. We don't. So in that respect right there, the GM plant, Bt toxin, yeah, there's something wrong with that. It's blowing your guts up. That's where leaky gut, in my humble opinion, has come from. And you'll not convince me different because I understand what Bt toxin does. If it blows the bug up, when the bug eats it, it's eating your guts up. Glyphosate. It does. It damages the little, what they call philia, little hairs in your intestine that absorb all the nutrients and create your immune system. Without those, you can't build up an immunity to anything. You can't build up, your body isn't building up right. It's not absorbing nutrients right. So you're not getting a proper diet. Something to ponder. Something to ponder. Jerry, thanks for the question. It is, in my humble opinion, that's kind of a trick question. Because without the chemicals, without what they're doing, there's no GM product. There's no genetically modified organism. We're finding out that the mosquitoes, ineffective. Mosquitoes are ineffective. They're not working. Except when it's really dry and the mosquito population is low and they're combining that with spraying. So all these genetically engineered mosquitoes, another failure. Another failure. How many do we need before the public and our elected officials, whom do your elected officials represent? Whom do your elected officials represent? Because it ain't you. It ain't you. It ain't you. And I'm going to say something. Everyone, Monsanto don't want to talk to me. They're looking at my profile. I guess I'm saying things that jerk their chain. They're looking at my profile, but they don't want to talk to me. They don't want to put me in front of a microphone and a camera. But Debbie Stabenow, Debbie let me stab my constituents in the back. Stabenow! $15,000. $15,000. I'm sorry. I want everybody to stop and think about this element for just a minute. $175,000 a year, civil servant pay. I think that's what senators get. I don't think Congress gets that much, but they get free medical while they're arguing over how to deliver our health care. Little irony for you there. So, free health care, free travel, free housing, free food, everything free. They get a free ride. How? I mean, even with the free ride, even if you invested your money in basic investments, how are these people leaving office in 10 years? Billionaires. How are they generating so much revenue that their personal wealth? Our government was never designed. Come on over here, be part of us, get rich. We'll live fat off of their tax money. We're going to lie to them. We're going to do. That's not what our government was set up to do. And what is going on in regards to Monsanto, and we're going to get to more of this in just a minute, but what is going on in regards to that element of the relationships is called graft, and it's illegal. Monsanto gives $15,000 to a politician and they push favorable legislation through. That is graft. That is graft by definition. Jeff Sessions, what's really going on? Why is none of this being pursued? Why Center for Food Safety? Why aren't you pushing that button? You guys are lawyers. You haven't pushed that button. You haven't pushed the button on states' rights and the 10th Amendment violation that the damn QR code does. So why should anybody give and donate to the Center for Food Safety if they're not really doing something? What do you just feel good? Oh, we just feel good. We're Center for Food Safety. You guys are lawyers. You guys are lawyers. Think about it. Think about it, folks. The Monsanto propaganda machine. In my humble opinion, that's a Monsanto propaganda machine question, style question, because that is how the Monsanto propaganda machine people, when you get in the different platforms, the different social media platforms, ladies and gentlemen, the Monsanto propaganda machine, they're famous for asking a question just like that. They'll frame it, and then they'll come back and say, oh, so the plant is no good, so what's your problem? If the plant's no good, if the plant doesn't harm you, it's what they do to the plant that harms you. They try to get you to so they can box you in, and then they'll come back and say, oh, well, you're stupid. You don't have a PhD. You can't talk about this. Well, why are we talking to you? You don't have a PhD. Hey, please explain to me why I need a PhD. Please explain to me why I need a PhD to know I don't want poison in my food. Holy Toledo, what kind of madness is that? What kind of madness is that? Why do you need a PhD? To know you don't want poison in your food. That's why they beat up on Zen Honeycutt. That's why they beat up on Vani Hari. That's why they beat up on Ronnie Cummins. People that don't have a PhD, they have a good heart, and they're saying, hey, wait a minute. This stuff's in our food. We need to let everybody on the world and the planet know about it. This stuff isn't right. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen? I'm sorry. I'm going to say this again. You can put all the Neil deGrasse Tyson mouthpieces you want in front of me. About that much common sense is all it takes to see you guys are lying and it's a ruse. And this is why I have an issue with every politician not standing up and putting their foot down and saying, okay, this has to stop. It has to stop. You know it doesn't have to stop, and what's not ineffective is MDG Blogger. MDG Blogger, Marla Dawn Gates, down back there in that Keystone State. She got it going on the website. I was over there last night. Got some good stuff. You know who else does? And it was her birthday. I know she's fibbing. She says she's 52. She's 26 if a day. She's got to be 26 if a day. Paula Mayer. Happy birthday, young lady. Healthy Living. PaulasHealthyLiving.com. Organic for Greens. She's got a trick name website. Organic for Green Livings. Awesome website, though. She's got great information. Both those gals, great information from back east. Ladies, have a good day. They got it going on, and I'm telling you, right now, Paula got some stuff. Vegetable face masks. It ain't just for the ladies. Those ladies are doing that for you, fellas. They do it for you. Go check their websites out, man. Good stuff. Of course, that's right. Oxitec, the bad mosquitoes, I don't know. Oxitec is the name of the company doing the mosquitoes. It's a failure. I just have to ask this question. How many more failed products do we have to see before we allow this genetically engineering crap to put a serious kittywampus in the balance of nature? Because if we're not careful with what they're doing, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have serious, ugly problems. The GMO salmon ain't working either. There's all kinds of problems up there. Last week I posted some stuff on one of the sites, and I don't think I have this set up in there, but I will find it. If you PM me, I will get you a link about Atlantic salmon and the problems, the diseases, and everything they're having right now. It's coming out of Canada, and we don't know. They're not labeling the GMO fish. They're not labeling GMO salmon, ladies and gentlemen. We don't know. Are you eating salmon? Are you eating salmon? We don't know. And here's the thing. They're taking this salmon, they're genetically modifying the stuff, they're shipping it down to Panama, where there are no regulations. They're doing the thing, they're growing them up, and they're bringing them back. Nobody sees what's wrong with that picture. They're going to bring them back and put them in another farm. They're going to bring them back and put them, they're going to take millions of fish and put them in a facility that maybe only a couple thousand should be in. They're going to breed disease. They're going to breed lice and mites, and they're going to have all kinds of scale diseases and stuff. And oh man, it's just ick is another one. Funguses. They'll get all this kind of stuff on them. So farm fishing is kind of bad. It falls in that. Factory farming category, and I think we all know about factory farming. The reality, ladies and gentlemen, again, the reality, know your farmer, know your food. Farming was never meant to be monocultures. It was meant to, we have 50 acres over here, we have 300,000 people living here, we can grow all their food right here, and a cow over there for them too. That's how farming was supposed to be. It wasn't supposed to be, let me grow all the corn in Kansas for everybody in the world. And that's what's going on, and that's madness. It's just madness. It's madness. Got to give a shout out. I'm cutting up a spring harrow. That's why we're on early this morning. I'll be cutting up a spring harrow. I'll try to get, I'll get some pictures out, let you guys see the progress of that. But I got to give a shout out, Victoria Snowden, the infamous Victoria Snowden from Baltimore, as she would tell me when I met her. I'm from Baltimore. She's from Baltimore, Maryland, ladies and gentlemen. Bethlehem Steel. Hello, Victoria. Tori, as I call her. Love the gal. She is funny. She is crazy, but she has a good heart. Tori, how you been? I hope all's well in your corner of the world. She got herself a little organic farm. Kind of blew me away. She's back there in the heart of GMO country in Iowa, corn country, and she's an organic girl. Organic girl. She's not a bad-looking gal either. I don't know what to tell you there. Hillary Monsanto, Paula Mayer, Tori Snowden Wallace, good-looking gals. MDG blogger, good-looking gal. Vanny Hari, Xana. Think about it, folks. Let's eat GMOs and get ugly and be like Hillary Monsanto has to go. You know who don't have to go? You want to know who don't have to go? And I listened to this show the other night. Good show from down under, Sheena Alexandra. I'm sorry, Sheena. Sheena Alexandra. Her partner on the radio, Liam, I'm not sure what his last name is, but they really got a good show down there in Australia. Who knows? Maybe I'll give them a call and be a guest, and we'll talk a little GMO, and we'll get a little difference of GMOs in Australia, how they're perceiving it down there, how the country of Australia. This is what I'm curious about, because we know all these other countries, except this one, has issues with the GMO. They do stuff differently. You can't do like they do in the United States all over the world. So maybe we need to get together, start comparing things, and find out how they're doing it down there, and start pushing that button up here, you know. So we don't know, but we'll find out. They got a great show. Again, Bondi Radio, or as they say down there, Bondi, bondiradio.com.au. Friday night, 6 to 9 Pacific Standard Time is when you can catch them. I caught them on the TuneIn app. The TuneIn app gets you around the world, folks. Get you around the world. Again, we have documents coming out. Links in the description. I have a lot of links in the description. I think there's 3 or 4 on the mosquito issue. There's a couple on corruption again. Corruption again, ladies and gentlemen. Let's throw something out there. In 1985, we're talking Monsanto here. We're talking the EPA here. And we are talking data manipulation. 1985, EPA classifies glyphosate a carcinogen. Now remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is when Uncle Ronnie was deregulating the entire country. Deregulated the phone company. Deregulated the railroads. He came in and he fired the unions in the air towers. And I really had a problem with that because he got his political career started as president of a union. That was kind of the first taste of politics for Mr. Uncle Ronnie Reagan. And then he comes in and fires a union. Him and his wife gave us just say no, just say no. Now you know why Uncle Ronnie had that funny look on his face all the time, because Nancy would just say no. I know Uncle Ronnie meant well. He meant well. He really did. But I'm still waiting on the trickle-down effect. I'm still waiting on that. But, as they started deregulating things, Monsanto starts infiltrating the EPA, the USDA, and the FDA. In 1985, they had a classification of carcinogen on glyphosate. So let me ask you something. Since they don't do anything to glyphosate, how is it 6 years later the EPA removes the carcinogen label from glyphosate? Bam! 6 months later, we have Roundup Ready corn and soy. Michael Taylor at work behind the scenes. No longer a lawyer for Monsanto, an employee for EPA. Substantially equivalent is what he gives us. Substantially equivalent. And when you listened and looked at the document, it is full of legal ease. Substantially equivalent. We know substantially equivalent is a lie. Another lie. What I want to know, Mr. Jeff Sessions, Attorney General, why is that not a crime? Why is it not a crime to lie to the American people about their food? How is that not a crime? How is it not a crime? How is it that it's taken 40 years for lawsuits to be developed? How is that, ladies and gentlemen? How is that? I'm going to tell you how it is. I'm going to tell you how it is. In 1917, Monsanto approaches the U.S. government and says, hey, my name's John Queenie. I have Monsanto. I made saccharin. Sue me under the Food Safety Act. So they do, like a bunch of idiots. In that respect, kind of government hasn't changed, huh? God, go figure that. 100 plus years ago, ladies and gentlemen. 100 years ago. Actually, I believe it was 100 years ago. It's September. 100 years ago now. The government starts a long, tedious process of suing Monsanto. And they go back and forth for 8 years. Now, this is what happened. And I want everybody to stop and think for just a minute. How is suing a gun manufacturer because some bozo took the Smith & Wesson Glock 9 and shot somebody? How is that Smith & Wesson's fault? It's not. So how is it Monsanto's fault? Now think about this. How is it Monsanto's fault Coca-Cola bought something from them and put it in the Coke? How is that Monsanto's fault? You don't think there was collusion between Monsanto and Coca-Cola on this lawsuit? How did Coca-Cola get completely left out of the lawsuit for 11 years? How did it happen? How did it happen? Center for Food Safety, you are lawyers. you can find this out, please help me. Please get that information, because those court cases, this guy was a Knights of Malta. Everything in those court records are saved and archived somewhere. I guarantee it. I will not lay 11 to 1 to that. I will lay 99 to 1, and I will take all action. I will take all action at 99 to 1. Those court documents are somewhere. The guy was Knights of Malta. They save everything. They save everything. In those 11 years, if we go back and study that, we are going to find out how Monsanto is able to do what they do today. And I'm still asking the question, how Coca-Cola never got sued over saccharin in the food. How is it we want to sue the chemical companies over what's in the food and not the people? Think about it. We're suing Monsanto over lying about glyphosate, which that is a separate element. Why are we not suing Kellogg's, General Mills, Post, Coca-Cola, Pepsi-Cola? Why are we not suing Kraft? Why are we not suing the food manufacturers that are putting the stuff, knowingly putting poison in our food, knowingly suppressing scientific evidence that contradicts what they say? How is that not a crime, Jeff Sessions? How is that not a crime? In those 11 years, 1917 to 1928, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you right now, that is where Monsanto developed every technique they use today. And they've just modified them and made them bigger and bigger and bigger. And now they're using all the technology that's developed over the years to spread disinformation and lie. They finance education programs so they can write the tests. You go to my G Plus page, there's an article pinned there about 2 reporters that started to do something on the BHG or whatever that goofball antibiotic is that they put in the cows so they can produce more milk. They got shut down and fired from Fox because they refused to give the story up, and they refused to let Monsanto dictate to them how they were going to tell the story. That is how Monsanto works. I'm a nobody. 6 employees from Monsanto reviewing my professional profiles out there in Cyberland, ladies and gentlemen. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? I might be a nobody, but I guess I'm kind of hitting the nerve somewhere. That's what it tells me. I'm putting my finger on something that nobody wants to touch. I'm putting my finger right on the button that they don't like. That's what that says. So I got to ask. I got to ask all these charitable organizations that are asking you for money, what's really going on? Why isn't this money going to a lawsuit to sue the food companies that are poisoning us? Why are we not going after a farmer that is glyphosating all the wheat so you have a gluten problem? Just asking. Just asking. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm not the Center for Food Safety. I don't have a law degree. I just have a little common sense. A little common sense. That's all it takes. Okay. How about if we experiment with something? Okay? Let's experiment with something. I want you to go somewhere and buy a cheap plant. Go buy a $3 plant so you don't get out a lot of money. Take a drop of salt. Put it in the water. Water the plant. Water it regularly with a couple drops of salt in the water and see what happens. It's called evolution. If the plant survives, it's going to build up a resistance to the salt. Chances are the plant's going to die because you have way too much potassium, sodium in the soil. It's going to die. So tell me, please explain to me how a chemical designed to be a chelator, to remove trace metal elements, please tell me how using that chemical in the water, in the food, in the dirt, is going to produce a substantially equivalent ear of corn that has magnesium, potassium, calcium, zinc, iron, copper. Those are everything that gets taken out with glyphosate. Explain it to me. Explain to my dumb ass how that is substantially equivalent, please. And then please explain to me why I need a PhD because I don't want poison in my food. Explain that to me, please. Has that sunk in yet? Has it sunk in yet? I don't understand. And look, I'm not saying the guys at Center for Food Safety are bad people. I'm not saying any of the organizations out there that are on this genetically engineered bandwagon, that are doing charity work, that are collecting money. I'm not saying they're bad people. I'm just saying that maybe we need to focus energies in a different direction to make people aware of how many people. Here's the thing, and I'm going to ask this question again. We all get the emails. Every one of us that is in this realm, every one of us that has an issue and a bone to pick with the GMO world, we all get the emails. We all get the emails say, hey, donate to us, donate to us, donate to us. And I'm going to ask you again, how many of you have mailing lists? You have huge mailing lists. What would it take for all of your followers to join my Twitter campaign? It would take one email from you. It would take one email from you. That's all it would take. One email that says, hey, let's try this. Let's try this and see what happens. Let's see if at 9 a.m. on September 9th, we can crash Twitter and make this trend. Mr. President, Mrs. President, FDA, USDA, EPA, please get the poison out of our food. What is it going to hurt you? What do you got to lose? What do you got to lose? I have yet to see a politician read a petition. I have yet to see a politician quote a petition. I have yet to see anybody review a petition that I have signed about genetically modified organisms. And I'm not saying these petitions aren't being circulated and submitted. We don't see the end result. But you know what? When Mr. Trump posts something on Twitter, we see that result. You don't think he's going to see our result? You don't think he will see our result? Ladies and gentlemen, the campaign is picking up momentum, and that is, again, the wonderful thing about America. We can get up here and we can say things, and as long as we're not lying, as long as we're honest, we got all the ice ain't never going to break as long as we're honest. That ice is getting mighty thin under Monsanto's feet right now, and they're feeling the heat. They're feeling the heat. Trust me. They're feeling the heat. Now, Alliday LLC, find me at allidayllc.com. That's the website. I'll be starting writing again. I got a new way to type. So, hey, you never know. You never know. Might be coming to a neighborhood near you too. Hey, somebody asked me. I got to get this in real quick before I get out of here. They asked me to reshoot the planter bed update because I guess I had a finger or something around the mic and a lot of the audio was poor. So I will be doing that later this afternoon, this morning, while it's still cool. As you can see, that sun's starting to come up out there. It's starting to get bright. I got to go cut that harrow up. I got to get the harrow up while it's still nice and cool. Over 100 degrees up here in Northern California this week, ladies and gentlemen. 95 to 100 all week. Holy Toledo. That's supposed to be July, August weather. We just got through with the ribs. We got the balloon fiesta coming up. Hey, camel race is coming up. But my favorite food event in the Reno area, Columbus Day weekend. the Italian festival. I'm gonna have to get me a bunch of oregano. See if I can't get me an Italian gal cook me some dinner or something, man. Never know. But back to the Twitter campaign for just a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Let's think about that. Zen Honeycutt, you got a huge mailing list, man. Vani Hari, you got a huge following. Huge following. Center for Food Safety, you guys have massive mailing lists. Ronnie Cummins, you too. All you guys. But I got a bone to pick with the Food and Water Watch people because they co-signed and retweeted something with Linda Sarsow. That woman is a traitor, and I will not support Food and Water Watch no more. Ever. Period. I'm sorry. I don't know if it was an accident. I don't know if somebody wasn't paying attention, but they propagated a propaganda by retweeting something, and they have a lot of followers, so that goes out there in cyberland. They were retweeting something by Linda Sarsow, and I will not support Food and Water Watch ever, 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 ever again. You cannot support a traitor and have my respect. Period. I am an American above all. I am honored and privileged to be an American. All those organizations that I just mentioned, ladies and gentlemen, they have great hearts. They're doing good work. They're doing great things. But I ask, join the Twitter campaign. What is it going to kill you? 30 seconds out of your day to send a tweet out to the President of the United States? That's his form of communication to us. To us. You don't think his advisors, you don't think everybody, you don't think Kellyanne Conway watches the Twitter feed? You don't think General Kelly is watching the Twitter feed? Come on. Think about that. Think about that. We do two things. And I want to ask the Gambrell brothers over there, the Kimbrell brothers at Center for Food Safety. You guys are lawyers. You guys are lawyers. What happens when you get a bunch of information in cyberland? You don't have to subpoena it. It's out there. You just go screenshot it. You have information. You have information. You don't have a petition that nobody sees. You don't have a cyberland petition. You have solid numbers. Numbers. It's a numbers game. You have evidence. That's what that becomes. You have something to take in. Well, Your Honor, look, on September 9th, we had 487,000 tweets saying get the poison out of the food. That's what the people want. Twitter crash because people want the poison out of their food. Call me crazy like a fox, call me anything you want, but you can't tell me that doesn't make sense, ladies and gentlemen. You cannot tell me that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. I want to thank everybody on Twitter who has followed me this week, especially every military wife that has followed me. I am humbled. Thank you for your service. Thank your husbands for your service, ladies. I am humbled. I really am. It is overwhelming sometimes, and I get a little emotional when I look at what's going on with this. But, and I ask you, hug a vet, folks. Hug a vet, because without them, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing right now, and you wouldn't be able to do what you're doing. It's our vets that keep this country strong and make me proud to wave our flag and say, I'm an American. I just happen to be Portuguese. It's kind of a funny dichotomy there, if you will. I'm an American over anything. I am Portuguese. And don't get me wrong, I love my linguiça and I love my home. I love my homeland. One day I'm going to go visit. But over everything else in life, I'm an American. And what's going on with our government isn't American. It is garbage. And I think every one of us know that. Ladies and gentlemen, that said, it's time for me to go. I'm going to get out of here today. But we'll look at more issues with Monsanto. Check the description. There's a lot of links in there. Of course, all the gorgeous gals that have followed me this week and sent good wishes. MDG Blogger, MDG Blogger. She's got some great stuff. Go check her website out, MDG Blogger. You can find her on Twitter at MDG Blogger. Paula Mayer 3 on the Twitter. You can find these ladies over there. They have great stuff. I haven't heard back from Mary's Heirloom Seeds yet. I'm going to get some stuff. I'm going to get her guidelines for the seed bank. Support your local seed banks. It's that time of year. It's harvest time. Support your local seed banks, ladies and gentlemen, because that's how we get rid of Monsanto. We get rid of them and push them away. Consumer power. Don't buy their food. Don't buy their seeds. And why isn't the Center for Food Safety suing the companies putting the poison in the food? Maybe I don't understand jurisprudence as well as I think I do. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. You want a great entertaining show? Sheena Alexandra. Drop Dead Gorgeous, non-GMO girl, non-GMO. Another one, Down Under. Down Under, her and Liam. They do have a good show. It was very entertaining. I enjoyed. I wasn't able to listen to the whole show, but I did enjoy what I listened to. It was very informative. And I'm gonna if you want a goofball from America on your show, Sheena and Liam, give me a holler, because I'd be more than happy to give a holler and be on the show for a minute, because great show. It is a great show, ladies and gentlemen. It gives you another look at health and wellness from a different part of the world. And that, my friends, is why social media is so wonderful. You get to look at other cultures, you get to interact with other people, and you know what? Maybe they should censor the hate stuff. I don't know, but who qualifies what for hate? So that's a weird dichotomy too. I don't know, but I do know Sheena and Liam's show is awesome. It was really cool. I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it. Tune them in. Got nothing to do on a Friday. I know it's Friday night, fellas. You never know. You never know. Maybe you and the missus can just sit and listen for a bit. But you'll enjoy the show if you listen to them. Good show. And again, before I get out here, let me ask Zen Honeycutt. Moms Across America got some great stuff. Did you tune into them last night? They got some good stuff going on. Moms Across America. Vani Hari, the Food Babe. Ronnie Cummings, Organic Consumers Association. Food Tank. Non-GMO Watch. GMO Watch. All you people. You got mailing lists. You got followers. Epic Gardening. Kevin at Epic Gardening. I don't know how big your mailing list is. You're on Twitter. I see you on Twitter all the time, Kevin. Come on, help us out. Let's join the campaign. Let's get this going. Mr. President, Mrs. President, Scott Pruitt, EPA, Mr. Purdue, USDA, and the FDA. Please get that poison out of our food. We don't need it. We don't want it. It's not good for us. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. You know what time it is. It's time to get out of here. Let's see here. What do we got going on? We're going to go out with a little Zeppelin step. Hey! Hey! In the days of my youth. Let's have a great day, ladies and gentlemen. Let's all be safe out there, huh?